Hello, 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 and welcome to my Labor Day weekend live stream, I guess. Yeah, that's what this is. It is still a little warm in my office, so I'm gonna have the air conditioning on. If the noise, I do have a noise filter on. If that does not work, let me know and I will readjust. So I got my toolkit. I got my alcoholic beverage. And I have my water. What I don't have is any more of, let me rearrange this just a little bit. Actually, let me move this. I'm going to move this one out of the way. And I don't have any more of the temperature probes. I looked through my cabinet, couldn't find them. I do have, without making a mess, I do have one of the ones that has, I'm going to say this is probably a 3-foot length. Well, I have a ruler. I can actually check that. 1, 2, yep, 3 feet. So if I wanted to do this, have it in a remote location, but I did want one of these ones here that look like, they sort of look like a transistor. And I have no idea where I put them. I looked through all different things, and let me make this a little bigger. Okay, yep, that's, so, yeah, don't need my headphones on. I did remember my toolkit, and that's so I can, when we get to it, I can readjust the display, because when I look back at the videos or the replay from the last live stream, one, it has the paper, the clear coat on it. The other one is it was just the brightness wasn't correct. I can't remember if it was too bright or not bright enough. Open up my was it White Claw? I can't even remember what I picked up. And so that does run into a dilemma, but I can still work on some other things to get this board ready. First off, we can get the power, and oh, which pin is the power? Yeah, that's power. That's should be ground. Well, let me pull up the web page for that. Oh, and it would be good if I actually, let's see, is that one? Yes. And yeah, we'll just video. Okay, yeah, turn that one off. If you have any questions, just leave them in the live in the chat. Yeah, that's what that's called. Don't mind me, had a busy day. Belt on my car. Nope, I don't want to buy one. I want to go to documentation. Yep, that's what I need. The belt on my car snapped when I was at the store. So, gotta bring that over to the mechanic because I don't have the tools to get the belt back on, or get a new, once I get the new belt, get it back on. Plus, I have some other work that needs to get done anyway. Okay. So this is what I want the pin out. So yeah, so the first pin, back to the video. So okay, so the first pin is power, and I have it just going directly there. So I'm gonna go pull that there, and then and I need to fix the lighting in my office. I really need a pair of tweezers to do this correctly. Or I need to not have a camera right in my face. Okay, is that the one I wanted? Let's go back to documentation. Yeah, I believe VBus was the one I wanted. Yeah, we'll find out soon enough if that's correct. And now let's see if I have a black jumper, because let's make things correctly color coded. Gray would work. I don't know why I have wire nuts in here. Yeah, those are blue. Okay. I'll probably use most of the black ones because I had a better. Okay, this is gray, and I'm gonna go gray for ground. And ground is, let's go with a different ground. Let's see, which ground do I want to go with? I will go with the one that is the third from the bottom. Buzzball. Okay, so that's going to positive. 1, 2, 3. And pull the loop to make sure. Okay, that's the third one. And that is the first one. And to test it, I could pull that to ground, but I am not going to do that right now. Now, the other issue with this one is these really aren't meant, these are meant to be soldered in, and they're not tinned right. And I could pull, where is it? I could pull this one off of this board, but I'd rather not sacrifice one board for another. and the video wasn't on for any of that. I'm just doing great today. Yeah, so I could pull this sensor, but I don't want to sacrifice it. It's working in that board, and these leads don't sit in the breadboards correctly. And I probably have a video on that when I worked on that. So, what to do? While I think about that, I'm going to take a look. Found some other items that aren't really labeled well. So let's see what this is. Open this up, and we'll all be surprised together. It's some type of display. What do you know? This looks like a multi-line. So I'd have to check to see so this module has is this one SPI? No, I2C. This one is has an I2C, and I had such trouble trying to get that to work, where this one I believe is a 3 or 4 line. Just looking at the size. Let's see, once I pull back some of this masking, I can't really tell. So this one has all the pins exposed, so I could have just taken, which box was that in? A pin header and soldered the pin header in. Yep, those pins I would have to break it off. I already got this working, sort of. Maybe later on we'll solder this back on, or solder some pins onto this. And I think I have a second one over here. So I have like 5 displays now, and I don't know what to do with them. Well, I have so many ideas of what to do with them. I still need to rebuild this. I had some thoughts on that. I was going to raise this whole thing up so I can work on it, and I'm just going to throw this over here. Does this... Can we read that? Where am I going to put that? Is that in focus? Maybe? No. So this is a LCD 2004 blue. Which is 5 3s, yeah, just like a barcode number, that 2, made in China, yeah. So I'm assuming the documentation is going to be the same as the documentation I found for that display. But like I said, this one is, let's see, 2004A, yeah. I'd have to look for documentation on this one. And this, I knew I had ones that were not I2C. But I figured, oh, I2C, how hard could that be? We haven't really dealt with in this. Okay, this. Okay, this one does say that it is I2C, so this is probably similar to this board. Pull that out. And MCell, I'm horrible at names. Marjay, hello. Okay, so this one, okay. This one, I'm almost positive, said I2C LCD 1602 blue, and it does not have the I2C, at least that I see, soldered on. So on this one, which, yeah, okay, if I line that up, the board is mounted there. This one, so, okay, this board and this board are the same board as far as, yeah, all the markings look the same. So this is actually the one I will solder the pin headers on. And I'm not gonna, it'll be for a future project, but at least I get something done during this live stream. Yeah, I don't really have a way of sending them out and mailing them out. Last I checked, the ones with the I2C, let's pull that up on Micro Center's website. Give me a second. I think I saved it as a bookmark. No, I did not. So, enter, add the box. Let's see. Yeah, it was $4.99 from Micro Center for the I2C. I'll pull that up. Just give me a second. Just 1602 I2C. Amazon, blah, blah, blah. Micro Center. Yep, still $4.99. I think that's still the same part number. Yeah, so, oh, yeah, so if you look here, those were all soldered on. And I was not able to get to all the data pins on my previous live stream and previous attempts. So let me see, do I have, let's see, 1602, 1602 LCD display. I think this is the only one they have. So what this is not actually a Raspberry Pi, it's a Raspberry Pi Pico. And this is a Pico W. Let's see, is this the bag from it? Yeah, this was the, it's a Raspberry Pi Pico W. Okay, so they have multiple displays. We'll get to that in a moment. Open up a new tab, and we'll pull up the Raspberry Pi Pico. So those, So the Pico 2W with header is $8. The Pico 2 with header without the Wi-Fi is $5.99. The Pico 2 without headers or Wi-Fi is $3. Not sure what the difference between this one. That one has a header. Okay, so without the header is basically $1. This is the original Pico, which when it first came out was, I think they were going for as much as $1.99, but $3.99. It, what can you do? Inflation. Yeah, I really don't have a way of getting your information to mail you one. I'm not even sure where you are. I don't have a way of getting your information, and not really. If my channel was bigger and I had a means to do that, I would do giveaways, but unfortunately at this point I'm not able to. Sorry. Now this is the original Pico W. Mine has headers soldered on. I did that during the last live stream. It's worth it for $1 just to have them soldered on, but what's the fun in that? And this is, yeah, if you $5.99 without the header. Some type of breakout board. I have others somewhere. Okay, so this is the Pico with the headers soldered on, and then there's a bunch of kits. Now I need to find some cabling. To get this working, but so let's see, what is it called? I'd have to literally look through my messages to see. Yeah, it's a DS18B. Is it? Yeah, DS18B20. So DS18B20, and I think there was a M somewhere, but I think this data sheet, whichever one I pull up, should have what we need. So if I recall correctly, it needs so it's power, ground, and then the yellow is data, and the data needs to be run through a 4.7K resistor, and I just came across my 4.7K resistors, which I had hoped were with my my modules. Let's go with that one. That one seems good. This is gonna, yes, I want the PDF. Let's download that. Maybe. Interesting. After 253096 253 396. Whatever. I'll just deal with it like this. One, two, okay. I have it set to my webcam. That's the problem. I think there's a bad USB port on. So let me try to the microphone. Okay. Can you hear me now? I have no idea at what point I lost you. And so, yeah, I don't even know how much it would be to mail something to Nigeria. International shipping rates. Varies by destination. Let's see. Yeah, so it would weigh less than a pound. First class mail. International. So groups. So all other countries, postcards, yeah. $1.70. So how can you tell what group a country is in? So I'm going to guess maybe 3 to 5 ounces. It'd be like $6. I don't have a good way of mailing it to you. And I do have some extras, and yeah, I have no way of getting your information without like securely. I don't use WhatsApp or don't use that regularly, and don't really like giving that information out. Okay, so back to looking for, what was I working? Looking for the yeah, looking for, I thought I'd put them aside when I found them. Okay, so this I don't need, this I don't need. Put that aside. Hey, once again, I'm not really prepared for a live stream. These are more pin headers. Wouldn't drive me as nuts, except for I literally saw it. I literally saw it, and then I went, oh, I'll put this aside. Oh. I thought it was in one of my cabinets, but I was mistaken. Or maybe I wasn't. Let's see. Yep, 4.7K resistors. Yeah, so I have these. They're very cheaply. Most of them are cracked. So that's why I try to keep everything in. So, And I wonder, like, how specific it has to be, the 4.7K. Okay, so put that there. And I should only need one of those for this project. So I'll put these back and I'll label them at another time. So let's just assume that this pin right here will be the data pin, so that this would need to go to power, and I'll cut those down at a later time. And let's go back to the data sheet. Not that data sheet, the Pico data sheet. So I should be able to use any GPIO pin. So I'll just use this, which I think is what I've used in the past. I'm just going to use this last one, GP16, which is pin 21. So we'll go ahead and let me see if I can find a small jumper. I'd like to go with yellow, but yellow's a little too, well, those are really big yellows, and those are small yellow ones. Let me see. Yeah, I'll go with orange. That should be fine. And like I said, I would go from the last GPIO pin there, from there to that in the same line. I think so. Okay. So in theory, if I put, yeah, this doesn't, maybe I'll do some soldering and solder new ends on those. Well, I have a soldering iron right here, but I don't know where, and I have de-wicking if I need to, but I do not see where I put the solder. I'm going to take this board here, which is incomplete, and get that out of the way. So this is the one that's hooked up, so I'll get this one. I'll solder that again once I find the solder. Let's see. I'd like to use a thin solder. I know where my thicker solder is. Huh. That's not what I wanted. Am I leaning on a button? Okay, yes, things just got a little crazy for me. Just give me a second. Okay, that's the form I want. Something I was looking for, and I can't. Just give me a second. Sorry, form. So that right there is, and which is also in the inquiry, in the. Why can't I send this? Is it too many characters? Okay. Of course, of course. So where to share it, and I can't remember how. Yeah, hopefully this doesn't screw my page up too much. Okay. Ah, as a link, as a shortened link. Yes, that's even better. Copy. Okay, so that's a link to send me your information. It's a business in the probably in the business service product. You can put some information, more information. I'll try to reach out to you. No guarantees. I still need to look to see how I can send stuff. And that really isn't going to be something that could be done regularly, but I will give it a try. Test the oh yeah, test the resistor. That's actually a good idea. And I have my multimeter right here, and so these are 20, and luckily this multimeter automatically turns off. And rearrange things on this table here so I can put the meter here. Is that on screen? Okay, so meters there, and then oh, I have it on volts, not on 200K. Yeah. Let's pull this out so it's not, even though I don't have any power going to there, and give this another try. Yep, 4.5, close enough, and it's probably getting some parallel resistance from my hand. Did you say can't hear me, or you can hear me? Because it looks like I have audio, and it looks like the captions are working. So put the meter away, turn it off. So these leads, yeah, I'm definitely gonna solder those on. Well, as soon as, make sure I get this in the right lineup. Goes there, that goes to power. And I was looking for my solder. Okay, the audio goes better now. Okay, that's good. Yeah, I have to rearrange some things on this laptop and hook up a USB brain fart, a USB hub. I have one right here, but I'm not going to start changing things right now. But I am looking for my solder. This is a little thick for what I want to do. And so is this one. But if that's all I have, that's all I have. And I will just deal with it. But I had, last time I did this, I had thinner solder. And also can't find my arm clips, which I don't know where those are. So this will work for getting the, is that even on? Yeah, so this will work for soldering those ends on. And I'm going to give it another minute before I just go with this solder. And oh, that's the other thing. Where is my, okay, so there's my flux pen. So I had the flux pen when I was soldering. So if I, yeah, I did not end up putting that back. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna just go with this solder, but turn on the soldering iron and just give it a few minutes to warm up. Where else would I put solder? I need to organize my whole area. The problem with organizing is you need a spot to put stuff once you clear off a spot to put it back. And I'm no good of any of that. In the meantime, while we're waiting for the soldering iron to heat up, if anyone has any questions or suggestions or anything at this point, just let me know. And yeah, I do need to hook up a USB hub to this this laptop, because what I need to do is, and this might get a little loud, I'm right next to the microphone, I apologize, is I want to hook up different items. Like I do have a, and it's quote on things, a logic analyzer that's just USB, and it has, I think, 8 pins, maybe 9, maybe it's common ground, I can't remember. Let me, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so 10. So might you have a common ground, a common power, but I have 2 or 3 of these, and they can, the program I had would let me use multiple ones. And let's just test see if this solder and iron is, not barely. Yeah, I'm not sure where this resistor came from. I'm just going to throw it in this block here, and I will figure out the size on that. So in the meantime, okay, I'm going to start with data. So let's see. The arms not turn on this? That's not very useful. I want the arms to be, maybe if I loosen this up. Yeah, okay, so have the alligator clips that way. So I can put that side there. And let's see. We're keeping our colors as consistent as we can. I will use a yellow one. I'll tin both of those and move that out of the way. Oops. Move that out of the way. That way it becomes misbalanced. Yeah, I'm not going to put any flux for this. Let's see. And the end of this is so thin I could barely even see it. May have to raise the heat up a little bit because it's still not heating up. Let's see. Trying to figure something out. Okay, we've been at this for about an hour. So thin. It's gonna break off. Wow, break off a piece of solder. And while I tin it, I'll raise it up there. Yeah, it looks like it's still in view. It's tinning sort of. Okay. Okay, that side tinned. This side is a little more rigid. You might be able to get a little more on this side. It just seems to be dripping. So I'm gonna let that cool down, and I may end up having to put some flux on there. So, Anselm, and if I'm pronouncing it wrong, I apologize. What experience do you have with microcontrollers and soldering and electronics in general? Yeah, just a little bit of flux on that. Probably should be wearing gloves, but I don't have my gloves with me. Maybe when I go grab something in a minute, I will grab gloves. But by that point, it should be too late. Cut the R. The R. Not sure if you hit enter before you meant to, or R stands for something that I am not grasping. more solder stuck that time. It's just dripping off. So now is the time. Centered. And if this doesn't, this doesn't look, let's see, how well does this look on screen? Okay, I'm setting up the magnifying glass for me, not so much for you to view. If you can view it, it should be relatively visible. Hold. Just need it to hold enough to okay, I'm gonna say that's holding enough. Let's see, will these wire strippers go fine enough? No, I don't think I have my finer ones with me. I think those might be in my car. Okay. So next we'll go with the ground. Excuse me. What can I use instead of my fingers? Piece of plastic. Cut the resistor before putting, yeah, I'm gonna, the resistor I have right here, I have it, everything I'm leaving with long, I'm gonna leave with long legs just until I finish this. I'll trim down the resistor after, but this gives me a little bit more play on moving things around while I'm still prototyping. I've made that mistake where I've made stuff to fit perfectly and then had to move it and it ran into a problem. So right now, electrically, it should be fine, but you risk things getting pulled out. But if you look at this, a lot of this is very haphazardly done, to say the least. But it's not something. Okay, a little bit of flux there. Yes, flux pen is nice, but I would want to eventually get the flux paste or something where I can dab it on instead of trying to press it on, if that makes any sense to anybody. Yeah, and in the past, instead of using these shorter predefined clips, I've just used the general jumper wires, which like these on this board until I can figure out exactly where everything goes. But this wiring in the sensor I've done before, so I'm not concerned too much with that, but I may have to move some of this stuff around. Try to thin this out a little bit. Yep, bam. Let's move the plastic before I melt that more. If things land on the silicone, that's fine. Stick. Yeah, maybe I just need to clean off the tip. Try tinning it one more time. Okay, some is sticking. Okay, so this is ground. Let's see if I can find. May have to go with gray again. I don't see any black in that one. No. This one's a little. Capacitors, some more capacitors. Jumper wires, more random resistors. Yeah, I'll just go with gray. As I drop everything on the floor. Okay, so where did I do that? Okay. The end of this before I put it in the alligator clip. Trying to get my hands in the flux. Move the board out of the way. That. Okay. Move that out of the way just enough to have it not tip over. Okay, that seems to be sticking. Okay. Let that cool down for a minute. Get the magnifying glass back into place. that a minute. Okay, it looks like we have, depending on where I look, either 4 or 5 viewers. If anyone has any questions on what I am doing, what my plan is, or anything else, go ahead and throw it into the chat. Okay, that's a giant blob. I'm just going to let that dry and see if that holds. So, okay, the audio should still be working, at least according to my audio meter. So, while that's drying or cooling down or whatever you call it, I'll grab a red one for the power, and then I need to find what I did with the USB cable. So we can program this. Okay, let's see if this held. Did this hold? Yes, it held. I'll check to see if everything's working electronically in a little bit. But I have some flux on the here. And we move on to the power line. Okay. And now the question of the day is, do I have electrical tape? And is electrical tape the right thing to use? I don't have my heat gun here to use. The shrink wrap I have, my heat gun is elsewhere because I was not planning on having to do this, among other reasons. Okay, get these out of the way. Get that out of the way. Maybe raise that up. And everything is sticky from the flux. You've used microcontrollers are computers that are programmed to carry out an activity or instruction. You've used an Arduino, and I have some Arduinos here that I have been meaning to play with. The only microcontroller I have used is this, are the Picos. Besides plugging in an Arduino and playing around with it just to get it to activate, but most things are either Arduino or ESP32, so trying to get it to work with a Raspberry Pi Pico is sometimes tricky. Even with this module, I had to kind of take the information from the MicroPython for another device and use that here. And it ended up working, but it wasn't what I had planned to do. And just trying to look one more time, because of course I'll find, okay, yeah, I'll find that the sensors without the long lines that I wanted to use as soon as I get this all soldered. As soon as I get this all soldered, it'll be great. Oh yeah, great. And then I'll find what I was originally looking for. Because I have so many small little like bags of diodes. I have random IC chips. I have just random more IC chips. I think those are ROM chips. I think that's what most of this box is. Okay, most of that box is ROM chips, I believe. So that box looks like it's about to fall. That's the other problem, is I have things that fall off all the time. What is this box? PS2 connector. That was meant for a project that I can't remember. I've got solar panels. I've got more resistors that I can't figure out what they're for, but the fact that I have resistors, oh, I have crystals. I have things that don't belong with each other, and they end up why do I have so many freaking SD cards? I have, what else do I have? The box to one of my USB capture devices. Some more ICs that I can't remember what they're for. Another little board I can't remember what it's for, and I'd have to look up the UPC or the markings. Just loose diodes. Why? I don't know. Another box of parts, which even if I don't find the part I'm looking for in this box, there's plenty of compartments that I can use, so I can get some of these loose parts somewhere. You can't hear me. How about now? Let me know if you can hear me, because as far as I can tell, the audio is working. Yeah, I'm not sure what I meant to put in this box, but it's not what I was looking for. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let me testing the audio. Give me a second. Let's see if I open it up and I listen. Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, if you could hear me, let me know. Yeah, maybe I'll just throw that in the chat. Let's see. Be like a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now? Okay, I have a funny feeling I'm losing people, and I don't know why. 1 2 3 1 2 3. Can anyone hear me? Now where was I? The cap on the there, and try to tin this lead. Okay, that held. I don't know why. Because I can hear myself if I listen to the stream through YouTube. And I can see the captions coming up. So YouTube can hear me. Let's see. Let me see if I adjust my microphone just a little bit so it's pointing directly. So I'm not sure with this mic how the side audio is. I'm assuming you're hearing the original audio because I don't think I have anything set up to auto dub. That's a very good question. I don't even know if you can do on the fly auto dubbing on live streams. Customization, I can do live chat replay, live chat summary. Let's see, that's something different. Everyone can participate, reaction live. Yeah, no. Details. Automatic chapters, featured places, automatic concepts, tags. Subtitles, recording, license, comments. Don't see anything. If anyone else is here and can hear me, let me know in the chat. Or like the video. That's a good one. Like the video if you can hear me. So I got the red there. I just want to finish soldering this. I did exactly what I said I didn't want to do, which was touch it after I put flux on. Okay, so it's somewhere between 4 and 6 people are watching here, and I don't know if my audio is working, so that's not good. So after I get this last leg soldered on, I'll magically find the other ones that I was looking for. But go ahead and solder this on and I should be fine. Just want a good enough connection so that when I am using MicroPython, it's not causing an issue. No one ever said I was a good solderer. Solder. No one ever said I soldered correctly. Especially not me. But then again, if I made a YouTube video on how to solder and did it this way, people would still watch it. Because It's YouTube. I've watched videos where I've sat there and gone, wait, that doesn't seem right. And still continued to watch because why not? Now I'm still trying to figure out now where I put my Arduino boards. Because I had at least 2 or 3 of those. Okay, this is one of them. This is a mini 5-volt. Okay, so that's one of them. Okay, once I know that this, let's see, does this seem to be holding? Yes. Don't melt to the thing. Okay, I'll put this aside for now. Back where it was, behind my monitor. Yep, I'll just drop it there. And now, so, power. Outstanding. The yellow didn't even I don't know what the yellow did. I have to try to strip this off. Okay. So yellow should go in there, in the ground. Yeah, definitely should have made these shorter. We'll go there. So in theory, okay, I'm going to turn off the soldering iron for now. So in theory, I should be able to run this. I'm going to go wash my hands because I'm also going to have a snack. I'm probably going to grab myself another adult beverage. Yes, this probably doesn't work well with soldering, but yeah, we'll do what we do. Just give me a minute. Oh yeah, why is that all the way up there? That's not where that goes. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, and I am back. And I got lime because it's a multi-flavor pack. And now what am I gonna eat? Well, I'm not gonna actually eat anything. I still have to make dinner, but I do have some cinnamon sugar pretzels. Which, yeah, I could go with that. I still need to look for that wire. Okay, found the wire. It's not USB-C. I need micro. Cable I need. Ooh, I forgot I had these. Besides finding my cable, I found some Frosted Flakes. So, grab my handy dandy extension cable too, and see what happens. Try not to trip over this cable now. And let's see if I knock out my audio again. Because this USB is right next to the bad USB. Well, this is the bad USB, so that's going to be even more fun. Hello world, hello there. Oh yes, that's what we were going to do. So see how that is very bright? I had my screwdriver set, and then I moved everything. And now I don't know where I put my screwdriver set. I thought I left it on the desk or on the workbench. I put it on a shelf. So this is, yeah, I guess I'll do this live. So this has a little the screw. Let's see. Is this the right size? Running out of shelf space. And don't tell me I killed it. Okay, so in the meantime, let me see how's that look on screen. Well, that's way too bright. And that's way too. Okay, so this just leads me to believe that no matter what I set it to, it's going to crap out. So it's the backlight that that controls the contrast. What I really need to do is control the backlight, or I need to find a. Okay, I'm laughing to myself because I just saw something that may actually work. Put the screwdriver away and grab my. Let's see. Will this be too dark? Yeah, this is way too dark. My eclipse glasses are too dark. Yeah, like I said, I have a little bit of everything on this. A vinyl squeegee. Let's see, what else do I got here? A VGA plug. I think this one is. Yeah, this is. I had gotten this to try to recreate Ben Eater's. What's it called? What do you call it? Like world's worst video card. Okay, so don't need the video capture. Okay, terminal, that's what I needed. Nope, I want that to stay on. Okay, terminal. Move that down just a little bit so the logo's not in the way. And let's get to, where did I put it? R shell. Bin, right? And then I should just run R dot slash R shell. Okay, connected. Oh, that's right, I cleaned it up. Man, I apologize if the frosted flakes are a little crunchy. I just wanted to get something in my stomach. So, some documents, YouTube. Dev. Thought it was in this directory. Or Pico Dev. That's right. Pico files. And this is version 6. Okay, so yeah, I did not. So version 5. Yes, version 5 had the files I needed, so I'm going to send temp to, I need to clear the screen, /v6. Yep, that's fine. Yeah, it's not nano, it's edit temp pi. And I don't have nano set up as the default editor. So open up a new shell. So nano temp. So let's just go over what is here. Okay, so this was originally from June of 2022. So 3 years ago. So now we're gonna today is 30th of August 2025. At least for another 25 minutes in my time zone. And this is going to be for version 6. Did I really use the right pin? Come on, there's no way I used pin 21 GP16. There's no way yes, I did. I used the correct pin. So I should not need to change this. So I just updated that for no reason. So that's actually pretty. Okay. So yeah, might as well save it. Main.py. So I'll have it run through that, and then import temp, and go to version 4 to remember how I did this. So that's pretty much what I need. So I'm gonna just copy that and paste that there, and it's Python, so I may need to make sure everything is lined up, and then we will, let's see, yeah, well, okay, you, control, okay, you, control, you, we're just going to put S, and we're just going to throw X in there. Should work. Then we'll sleep again. Get rid of that tab. Might be a little garbled, but that should at least get us through the initial. So run R shell again. CD documents, YouTube, oops, not Pico development, samples and tests, Pico files version 6. And we are going to cp main to, I'm going to readjust this window in a second, to / piboard, sure. Then we're going to cp, main.py to piboard, okay. Then we are going to move, okay, I need to readjust this window. This show up correctly. Let's see how that shows up on the screen. And a little too wide. Bring it back just a tad. And cp temp to / piboard. And that should work. And we'll go into the Ripple and we will do machine dot reset. And it's a function. Okay, it does hello world. And then just dies there. Okay, we get out of the there. And I'm going to manually they really need to put a reset button on. Hello world. Hello there. Nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, it just died. And I'm not going to bother throwing it on the screen because it's just... Okay. Go back into the R shell. Ripple. And import main. Hello world, hello there, and dies. Okay, seg digit is not defined. Okay, that's easy enough to fix. Okay, sep digit dot sep. Okay, so we are just going to do this, run that, copy main.py to /pyboard. Oh, and I am off the screen because I resize things. Okay. Go into Ripple, import main, and let's see. Hello world, hello there. Nothing. Float object is not okay. Okay, so yeah, it's me having to remember how Python works. Okay, so I'm gonna do temp colon space plus. I think that's how Python does strings. And this should be Fahrenheit. That should make X a string. In theory. Copy main back over. Run the Ripple. And import main. Hello world. Hello there. Okay. This is where I need to go and look things up. Create a string with a float in Python. Using, okay. Okay. I just need to use the str function. Okay. here. So str. I'm still not sure if I'm wow, merging those strings together. Oh. So copy the main over, go back into the RPL, import main. Hello world. Hello there. Didn't crash yet. Temp. Okay, hello. Okay, need to send the command to clear the screen. Yep, it's reading it. It's not working out well with the but it's running. That's the main thing. So now how to fix the formatting. So I think this is the command to clear the screen. So if I throw that back there, it should clear the screen before starting again. Okay, hello world, hello there. Screen clears. And the temperature. And garbage. More garbage. Okay. Oh yeah, a lot more garbage. Yeah, that didn't fix anything. That made things worse. Okay, so whatever this command is not good. Okay, so I'm going to say K, U, and Y. Okay. I'm going to make this F and C because that would make more sense. So that's going to be F. That's going to be C. And I can look up the degrees character, but I'm leaving this as is. So 0, 0. 0, 0, we'll put X. One, 0, and we'll do Y. and then I'll just repeat this. This hello world and hello there, I'll fix that later. Control K, Y, yes. And Control X. That's what I wanted, right? Control X, right? Yeah. Copy said file. Go back into the Ripple. And import main. Hello world, hello there. And okay, where did I hit an issue? Oh. Temp C. Let's try this one again. Copy the file, run the Ripple. Import main. Hello world. Hello there. Maybe. Because I changed the variable names. Yes, because programming at midnight is such a great idea. So F and C. Because I wanted to make things seem correct and have variable names that, well, the one letter variable names, so still not great, but have variable names that actually have some meaning. Hello world, hello there. Temperature 70 degrees. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's what I need to fix. Okay. Control X. Is before I do that, I need to do Control U. Is I need to set this to 0, 0. Delete. Okay, so I set the go to print hello world, which I'm going to change these times to these 1 second there, 1 second there, 1 second there. I'm going to leave that at 2 seconds. And let's leave that at 2 seconds. So that should fix some of it. And if, like I said, I need to fix the backlight to, or put a tint. It's oversaturating. To actually show how this is working, and when I actually do the regular long form video for this, I will okay, so Okay, I'm going to add a buffer to this line also. So I need to, let's see, back to so I want to, let's see. Set precision for a float and Python. Let's see. Okay. I think I'm going to use this round function. So round that with, I think it's a comma, 2. Make that a capital T, that a capital T. I'm only going to do it for the Fahrenheit. Actually, I'm going to add a space and a space. Hopefully that doesn't screw up anything. A space and a space. That's why. Copy said file. Run back into the RPL. And import main. Yeah, even with my phone, it's still just oversaturating. I don't know how to fix that. Because if I had my own resistor, I could just really wish I can adjust this. So that's the contrast of the letters, not yeah, it's just, let me see, maybe the camera has a setting that I can try to, let's see, color range, full format, frames, brightness. Okay, let's see, can I bring the brightness down? Will that fix anything? Let me bring the brightness up. No, that did not change. At least, I don't think it changed anything. Okay, bring the brightness all the way down. Okay. Nope. Didn't change that. Contrast. Pull the contrast all the way up. Nope. That did nothing either. Auto reset on timeout. Okay. Okay, bring the brightness, contrast all the way down. I don't think this is changing anything. So last thing I have is hue. Bring the hue all the way up. That did nothing. Bring the hue all the way down. Again, did nothing. Nothing is changing on the screen. I don't know if it's because that is oversaturating it. Frame rate color, let's see, if we put the colors to limited, does that change anything? No, that still does not change. We have to, no, that does not change. I don't know if I change it in frames until timeout. Yeah, no, nothing is changing. Let's see if I can add an effect. Let's see. Color key, luma, render, scroll, sharpness, contrast, chroma key. Oops. Sharpen, apply, LUT. Maybe chroma key? Sure, I'll try chroma key. So now, let me see if I apply this. Ooh. Changing some weird He blew. Whoa. Not sure what that just did. Okay, that's just weird. Oh, vacancy. Okay, gonna go back to green. And everything is off. So gamma. I may have to just. Okay, back to defaults. Yes, okay. So this is still too damn bright. Change the opacity. That doesn't seem to do a damn thing. Oh, that's something. Okay, let's make it completely opaque. And then try bring the contrast all the way down. Still can't read that. Bring the contrast all the way up, maybe? Bring the contrast, whoa. Let's give that a minute. Now bring the brightness down. I just want to be able to read that screen without having to go find a tint. And I'm holding the screwdriver, and I don't know where I put the box. Oh, I'm sitting on it, that's why. I'm not sure what size this. Oh, yeah, let me go. Okay, I'm gonna remove that. Close. That's still all wacky. Gotta remove that. Yes, I want to remove it. Okay. Now, if I pull that off, and I'm probably gonna short something out. There's already a direct jumper. This is a resistor, yeah. This is not the one I wanted. This is not the one I wanted. I want something in between. Where could it be? Oh, where could you possibly be? Where is the wiring that, oh, I put it over here. I'm gonna go with blue and green. So I am going to I'm going to look for a variable resistor eventually. Okay, so why won't that? Okay, that went on that side. Okay, that went on that side. And I'm going to go in these last two. And let's see. Okay, that's probably still too. Oh no, you can't. That really makes me want to find one of my variable resistors, potentiometers, or another resistor. I believe this is a potentiometer, and it's a 3-prong, and I can't remember how a 3-prong potentiometer works, but pull that out. And let's see if I throw this in. Ooh, that might actually be somewhat readable. Let's see, can I lower? Okay. Go ahead and see if I can center that. I could barely read it. Okay, that's maybe just a hair more. Okay, got that working, kinda. At least it's visible. Okay, I'm gonna say that's gonna be visible enough. Now let's see. Let's see if I add a mask. Let's see what filter. Tone mask. Okay, that's not what I wanted. So remove that filter. Take this away to render delay, mask blend, override, crop. Yep, that's what I wanted to do. Sure. And I'm just here learning stuff. $500. Whoop, too much. 450. 450. Not 5,000. 450. 450. Okay, that's good. Maybe 450 on the right. Ooh, 450 on the right works too. Top. Maybe 60. Yeah, that worked out. And bottom 300. Yeah, that actually worked out real well. So close that. Move it down over here. And with the Celsius, you might be able to see when it kicks in. Yeah, so right now it's doing two digits, but it every so often will see. Yeah, it's got 4 digits for the Celsius. Oh, we don't want that. We'll go ahead and make it so this round, and yeah, we'll use round because why not? Round. Comma 2. Do I want 2? That's the other thing. I think I'm just gonna go with 1. Yeah. So I really don't care if it's 71.53 degrees or 71.54 degrees. 71.5 is fine. I'm just gonna leave these in there just because. And then we Control X, copy file, ripple, import main, and we get the yep, there it goes. Hello world, hello there. Okay. So at some point it's clearing. Now at what point is it clearing? So I think this is the clear command. So after it clears, I'm only going to have it sleep for 1 second. And then I'm going to leave this for 3. Eventually, I'm just going to have it do it every 10 seconds. It's still not perfectly clear on the video, but copy the file over, run ripple, import main. Yeah, it's just skipping right over that first hello world, hello there. Okay. I'm pretty content with this right now. Let's see. I started at 9:45, 10:45, 11:45. Okay, I'll go on for another 15 minutes. Do I want to do any more soldering? No, I may do another live stream tomorrow. And then I'll solder on that other display. And that other display I may do that with an Arduino. Yeah, because that one I can hard solder on and then put it onto the breadboard. And as long as I have 8 let me see. Let me go find that. I saved. Yeah, I did save the links. Yay! Okay, so I just want copy link. And we go to there. That's where I want to go. And we paste the link. Okay, operating voltage -3 to +7. Okay. -12 to +0.3. Okay. Timing. Okay, good thing it's only 21C because could go for 200 hours at 60 C, 60 Celsius. Okay, power supply. What's the pin layout? Does not have the pin. Okay. So it has those pins there. Okay. So I need the 8 data pins. So I need the 8 data pins, the enable pin, the read-write pin. So I need 1, 2, 3 plus 8, 9, 10, 11. So I need 11 pins. I could throw it into a shift register, but it kind of defeating the purpose of why I want all the pins exposed. Yeah, this only has 8 pins that are addressable. Wait, 14 I/O pins. Oh, I do have 14 I/O pins with this one. I'll just have to look those up. Okay, so that, yeah, all I need is the 11 I/O pins. And then I can use that other board. But that still doesn't solve and pardon me for chewing, I haven't had dinner. Yeah, it still doesn't solve the problem that I don't have any more of the temperature modules. Let's play around with something while we got time. So here's the end of the temperature module. Is it still reading? Don't tell me it crashed. Should still be reading. Yeah. Okay, so it's in my hand and let's see what temperature. 1, 2, so it's up to 84 degrees inside my hand. And I'm just going to stick with the Fahrenheit for now. So got up to 86. So I'm going to take this and actually stick it in by the soldering iron and turn this. So the soldering iron should be, and like I said, the lighting in here sucks. The soldering iron should be set to 450 degrees Celsius. Turn that on. Hopefully not blow out the sensor. And it's actually going down in temperature. What do you know? $78.5. I put next to a soldering iron and it got cooler. Yeah, that's just entertaining. Okay, now it's going up in temperatures, or back up to temperature. Let's see if I can get this above 90 degrees. And if anyone, again, if anyone is watching, if you have anything to say, just throw it into the chat. Okay, 81 degrees. I wonder of the stuff I'm saying, how much that's going to cause YouTube to recommend this video based off of the transcript of what I'm saying once the live stream goes away. So if like somebody says something like, what searches, was it a 90-degree day? Because I said 90 degrees Fahrenheit, would that recommend it? Usually takes some time for the analytics to catch up. And I've gotten some weird, some weird analytics in the past. I don't know what information is going to show on the, if I show the analytics, so I don't want to show it on a live stream, but I'm just going to look up some of my past live streams. So let's see, I did one on August 10th. So pull up those analytics. So there were 8 views, 0.1 watch time since published, which I think for the live streams is based off of after the live stream ends. So since uploaded, 85 views, 8.5 watch hours. And if I go to reach, browse was 65%, suggested was 18.8, and YouTube search was 9.4. And it was a very similar message. This was this is what I soldered on the header pins. So 37.5% of the 9.4%, so I'm not doing that, was a search for Linux. 12.5 of that 9.4 was for DIY technology. Interesting. And 12.5 was practical electronics. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say one person searched for practical electronics, one person searched for DIY electronics, and 3 people searched for Linux. Let's see if I go to more. What else is here? Yeah, those are the 3. Now, if I go back, oh, it's up to 137 degrees. Alright, so on my August 15th live stream, and the subject of that was coding Raspberry Pico with 1602, I2C, LCD, and MicroPython. I think that's when I originally did the original code that is somewhere. I want that show. The original when I originally did the, oops, what was it? The GPT, yeah, this original code, which I don't know if I ever cleaned it up. Yeah. So that code, so I had 100, so since published, that one had 137 views and 6 hours of watch time, and actually 2 subscribers. So if you subscribed during that video, thank you. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe. Now, since upload, which will include the actual live, I believe includes the live stream time. Why they don't separate that? In the analytics, you would think YouTube would be able to do that. I had 258 views, 22.4 hours of watch time, and 3 subscribers. So 1 person subscribed during the actual live stream, and 2 people watched it on repeat or syndication or whatever analogy you want to use. So views, browsed 51.2, YouTube search 44.6. Okay, so of those 44.6, 6.1 was for MicroPython, 4.4 were for Raspberry Pi Pico, 1.7 was Pico 8, and another 1.7 was Pico 8 tutorial, and another 1.7 was Raspberry Pi project, which I guess kind of fits. What is Pico 8? That makes me want to figure that one out. Let's go to Google or DuckDuckGo. What is Pico 8? Okay, so Pico 8 is a virtual machine and game engine created by Net Something Games. It is a fantasy video game console that mimics the limited audio visual of an 8-bit system from the 90s to encourage creativity and. Okay, let me look at the Wikipedia page for this. That just baffles me. So somebody was looking for this and found my video, and it's proprietary, so I don't know what that means. And well, I know what proprietary means. I mean, in the course of this, and yeah, it looks like it may be based off of BASIC. Don't know. to the terminal. Yeah, that's a good place to go. And I think I left it here. Yeah, so this is 25K. Okay, so I guess you would want that compressed. Let's see, yeah, 25K. It should be text readable. Yeah, so it's XML. So it's pretty much a text. I might end up a spot where, yeah, I don't know what most of this specifically means, but these should be coordinates that it goes to. Okay, and then it generates a, okay, so it generated a PNG file. So that makes me wonder if I save it. This is export. Now if I save it as the compressed version, so SVG compressed test, now this LH SVG star dot star. So the compressed one is 17, and this is probably going to be a digital file. Yes, maybe a binary file. Let's see it anyway. Sure. Yep, that's definitely a binary file. So now let's figure out if I do this, if I export it. And what did I say I wanted to do with? Oh, an HTML file. HTML document draw. Okay. So HTML test. And where was I? I was somewhere. Okay, so let's. Okay, it starts off with text, fairly normal. Generator, it was done by LibreOffice. It's now the 31st because it's after midnight. Title is nothing. Now we go into the body. Wait. Okay, I'm confused. How is this? This is just a generic, like, skeleton. There's nothing in the body. Okay, that's... So now if I export it as an XHTML, then HTMLX test, How's the HTML file 4.3? Oh no, it's the XMLH. Okay, I was gonna say, how's that 4.3K? So HTMLX. A lot more information here. Vendor, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. Okay. Let's see. Open. And nothing opens. Up. It opened into whatever this, into Firefox, which I don't have mapped to OBS right now. But I do have Chrome mapped. So. Nothing. It's an empty file that didn't save anything. Okay. Yeah, I don't understand. If I opened it up, the SVG files, yeah, the regular file shows up. soldering iron on. Let's see, what temperature is that at? 190 degrees. 88 degrees Celsius. Now let's see if it gets up to 200 degrees Fahrenheit. I'll set my watch. Give it 5 minutes. Even though something smells like it's burning, but that might just be the solder from earlier. Yeah, nothing feels like it's burning. Temperature still going up. 195, yep. No one's chatted in a while. If anyone's there, go ahead and throw something in the chat. It's going up slowly. It was at 195 a moment ago, so it may have peaked out. So now I can play around with the contrasting. Those pins on that side. Where is this? That seems pretty readable. Still have to fix the timing. Did it just die? I hope not. Yep, it just died. So something crapped out. Probably when I moved it, because everything is temperamental. And I think the easiest way for me to possibly clear that is to unplug it, plug it back in, and see if anything. Yep, hello world. Oh, and it's probably because the ripple is running. Import main, and something with, so one of the cables is not, so let's see, all those should be good. That should be the data, and well, power wasn't working, it wouldn't. did I plug that back into? Okay. So I'm actually going to plug this into ground there. That makes things a little better. Control C, Control X. Load the ripple, maybe. And it's been 5 minutes, but I don't know the temperature because I screwed something up. Unplug it, plug it back in, it gets to hello world, and then something craps out. Okay, seems to be working. And it's over 200 degrees, so I'm going to go ahead and turn off the soldering iron. And I may just go ahead and end this live stream. Unless anyone has any questions before I do. If you have any questions, go ahead, throw them in the chat. Otherwise, well, chat now or forever hold your peace. Okay, we'll go ahead and end it now then. Gotta leave this running, see how long it takes to cool down the soldering iron, but I'm not gonna subject everybody to that. Well, I want to thank everybody who's watched or is watching. I may do this again tomorrow and work on some more soldering. You have a great day.